Hi, greetings. This is Reverend Zebby, High Priestess, welcoming you into my divine and sacred space. And the message I bring to you today is Valentine, because Valentine is coming up. And a lot of you will be having romantic inclinations, buying Valentine cards, booking restaurants, taking your special person out, preparing special meals, all the things that go with Valentine. Even the children in school will be making Valentine cards. But what is Valentine? What is it really all about? If we look at the history of Valentine, it was a pagan festival where for 24 hours, anything went. You could do anything and get away with it. And over time, because of religious beliefs, Christianity, and people becoming sort of more purging and being more pure, wanted to be more pure, and it was very difficult to get rid of that festival, is that history changed it over time, and it became what we know of it today. But it's got a very, very dark past. And it made me think about the metrics, the false paradigm, all the stories and the teachings that we've been taught and that we grew up on. And, well, none of them are the truth. And because we've won the war in the 5D, every minute, every moment, the truth is being revealed more and more. Don't take my word for it. You can go up on Google, if it's still there, and Google the history of Valentine and what it was really all about and how it changed to what we know it today as the money-making enterprise. Because we live in a very materialistic world. And that was the message that I got. It took me a while to think about this message, because we talk about Valentine. Anyhow, it also brought me on to twin flames, soulmates, divine connections, and a lot of people in the collective who are looking for partners and who do not have partners and trying to manifest or call in their the other half. But not everybody has twin flames, but everybody has soulmates. And soulmates do not have to be lovers. Soulmates can be friends, companionship. And it made me think about, what does a man look for in a woman? And what does a woman look for in a man? Or what does a man look for in a man, or a woman look for in a woman? Whatever your preference is. And there's three things that everyone looks for in a partner, consciously or subconsciously. And that's good treatment, financial security, and great physical sex life. Most people settle for 2 out of 3. Some settle for 1 out of 3 in any variation. And the lucky few who hit the jackpot get all 3. And then, made me think about, what is so important about those 3 variants that most people look for, whether consciously or subconsciously? And it's an exchange, it's an interaction. You've got the physical interaction, which is the lovemaking. And then you have the mental interaction, which is great communication. And then you have the spiritual interaction, which is the intimacy, the good treatment. The mental will bring you money and material growth. You've got that good communication and that mental interaction going on. And the physical will bring you sort of that satisfaction where you feel you belong to someone else or they belong to you, whichever. But again, why do we follow those variants? Is it a nature need? Is it a physical need? Is it an emotional need? Is it a spiritual need? You know, and why are those things so important to us as spirits having a human experience? Well, we know with a physical need, it's part of co-creating, and that's how we reproduce. The intimacy, I think we need to feel acceptance. And we need to sort of share our inner being, which is why it's more spiritual. And then the mental and the communication, right? If you're not communicating with another human being, you can feel there's a lack. You need to be able to bounce off on someone else. And if that someone else matches the same intellectual level as yourself, then it can be very, very empowering, very empowering. So romance, law of attraction, healthy relationships, unhealthy relationships, biologically, what does it do to the body? But again, we're spirit having a human experience. So some people might find they don't need any of that because they're never alone, because they have their spirit team and they're tapped in and they can hear their spirit team, they can speak to their spirit team, they can see their spirit team, and they can go it alone for part of the journey. I wouldn't recommend it for all of your journey, because we learn so much when we are in a special relationship. We learn a lot about ourselves, what we want, what we don't want, what we want our future to be, our goals on a personal level. And we also learn as well how to grieve, how to let go, if it's not working out, or if one person has outgrown the other person, and how to let go with grace over time and not go crazy. That's almost like an obsession, like an addict. If you can't let another person go, if it's not working out, and you know it's not working out, and the other person needs to move on, and you also need to move on. You cannot hold anybody by force. Yeah, that's enslavement. So that's my message for today. And I'm going to shuffle the cards to see what other messages will come up about Valentine and romantic love, relationships, how we navigate them. Everything that we experience in life is a learning experience, and the events that happen to us are not who we are. Yeah. So, what message do we have for the collective? Oops. Well, I've got 3 cards that flipped out, and I'm going to take all 3. Okay. Right. So we've got the 7 of Cups, right? And with romance, especially after the honeymoon period, it can be very emotionally and mentally and even spiritually confusing. And the body, the physical side, will have withdrawal symptoms. And it's like a confusion. What choice do I make? Do I leave? Do I go? Do I stay? Do I let him leave? Do I force him to stay? Do I let her leave? Do I force her to stay? Right? So you're making choices, and none of the choices are really realistic. And then we have the 5 of Cups, crying over spilt milk, right? 3 of the cups have fallen over, and cups represent passion, feeling. It's water. And not realizing that there's still 2 cups that are not spilt. And 2 of Cups is a blessed union, right? So maybe you need, for a while, a union with yourself, and not that sort of codependency, a codependent relationship where you lose yourself, basically. But as I said, it's all lessons, it's all learning experiences. It might feel like it's the end of your world, but it certainly is not. You just need to be a bit more objective, take a step back, and learn to govern your feelings and not get too caught up in them. We call it being centered. When you learn that lesson, and some of us, we'll have to, retake that lesson several times before we learn it. They have this saying, if only I knew then what I know now. We've got the Emperor, right? And the Emperor's solid, stable, fully balanced, centered, grounded, has an overview, loyal, protective, and learnt to balance one's emotions and feelings, right? When you're there, it also means you fully understand what love is. At this stage, you'll have self-love, and you're ready for a real connection, whether it's with your creator, whether it's you call him or her Allah, God, Buddha, Krishna, or with a soulmate or twin flame. But the road to that is not easy. Dark night of the soul. Can't see the woods from the trees. Confusion, losing yourself. Some people even feel like they're losing their mind. That's how intoxicating, right, that physical love can be. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. Right, and now I'm going to pick a card from Spirit Junkie. Don't know if you can see that. The light's in the way. That's it. Written back to front because this is a mirror reflection. So I'm going to shuffle these. And I like this because it tells you where your energy is. Bear in mind, Valentine's coming up. Everybody will be in the energy of romantic love. Finding that special person, being with that special person, treating that special person. Is it real love or a fantasy? Got one there. I've got 2 actually. So, got a nice pink one representing love. I'm going to read it. I see grace and possibility in all of life's challenges. So just bear that in mind. Every challenge, right, that we come up against, there's grace and possibility. We learn from our mistakes. As long as you don't get stuck in the mistake, like a record. Those of us who are old enough that know what a record player is, right? When the needle gets stuck and it's just repeating itself on repeat. And the other one is, it's nice and blue and healing. I am in sync with the flow of life. So just remember, right, that life is not happening to you. Life is happening for you. So therefore, stay in the flow. Stay in the flow. Stay in the flow. And on that note, I'm going to read a very brief poem, one of my own. And it goes like this. A bright spark like a crystal burns as a torch, lighting the chambers to life. Unsettled feelings can only try to disignite the brilliance of your true light. And read it once more. A bright spark like a crystal burns as a torch, lighting the chambers to life. Unsettled feelings can only try to disignite the brilliance of your true light. Blessed be, I am an African, I am a chosen one, so therefore I have greatness, love and abundance within me, around me, and every place that I go. Peace out.